Previously. X-Rated, the X-Men animated review show.
Please, tease me, scare me, anything.
Hello and welcome to X-Rated, the X-Men animated review show. X-Rated Evolution. We will tease you, we will scare you, possibly with the same thing. But here we are.
Who are you and what do you want?
Oh, that's a great question. I am your host.
I'm really just hanging out here.
I'm really just hanging out here, but I'm one of your hosts regardless. Davstony.
I love it. You and I did the same thing again.
We did. Well, that's funny.
Let's leave it. We both could have seen the future and decided that we needed to use the same name.
Can I help you?
Well, sure. I could introduce my co-host. Drestony. Drastony.
There you go.
Drastony.
So not a lot of new characters to take names off of in this one.
Oh, Lulu's here.
Oh, there's a new one.
There's a Lulu.
Oh, she's vocal.
Yeah, she's always talking.
This is the new one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's adorable.
Yeah, little Lulu. Very silly. All right, well, here we are. Season 1, Episode 3. X-Men Evolution. The Rogue, or not the, just Rogue Recruit. So, here we are. Another character intro. Big character intro this time. Getting Rogue in there. The, so-called, I should say, goth Rogue. This kind of seems...
I can see that. She definitely has that sort of vibe.
Yeah. Well...
What do you think of Goth Rogue?
Well, look, you know what? I like her. It's hard to follow X-Men TAS, Lenore's and Rogue. You gotta kind of have to go for something different. Same with a lot of these characters, I guess. I kind of view this as kind of like watching an Ultimate X-Men TV series. Rather than watching the X-Men, it's like watching the Ultimate X-Men.
Wouldn't it be great if this show ended the same way the Ultimate Universe did? With Ultimatum, where Blob eats the Wasp, and Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch have an incestuous relationship, and Magneto gets pulverized by Cyclops, and the whole world falls apart. Wouldn't that be great?
Well, it'll be something. And
I'm joking. Ultimatum was fucking terrible.
Yeah, I wasn't into the Ultimate X-Men, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, you're a continuity dude. I get it, but within the world, it started really fun. I liked Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate X-Men up to a point. Ultimate X-Men fell off way before Ultimate Spider-Man. I would argue stayed great good. All the way to the end.
It was good. I've read the first trade of it and it made me cry. Ultimate X-Men or Spider-Man was good.
What are you drinking there? What is that concoction?
It's some sort
sour
of
beer,
but it also has guava puree in it, so it's
a sour.
Chunky. There's chunky.
I don't know if there should be chunks in beer.
In this one there should, because it's puree in there.
I don't know, they had some puree or something in there. I don't know.
I don't know, but it's all right.
They tell me it's good for you. Who knows?
Yeah, that's what they say.
All right.
What do you think? What do you think of this Rogue?
It's fine. It's very different. But I mean, it has to be. The only thing, the show, I keep getting hung up on how, to my ear, the girl that does the voice for Shadowcat sounds an awful lot like the girl that does the voice for Jubilee in the original series. And to my ear, it often sounds like I'm just watching Jubilee run around and do the same thing as X-Men, as she did in the X-Men animated series. Because she's sort of Shadowcat is kind of this version of Jubilee. Right up to being grossed out by Nightcrawler and stuff. So it's very
grossed out by Nightcrawler.
She was the first time she ran into him, if I recall correctly. It's been a while.
Poor guy.
Well, he does look like a demon. It's it's unfortunate, but
look, sorry, guy, but what does Wolverine say to him? I think I got the.
You hear your cat purring, which is very cute.
Oh, she's very nice.
That's my favorite sound. It's probably cat purring.
It's a
Do you have a
great
favorite sound, Devin? Probably something dumb like your kids talking or something. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm totally kidding.
Yeah.
Your kid calling you daddy or something dumb like that.
No, it's when she tells me she loves me. It's amazing.
Ah, damn it! That's
Because
fucking
I love
adorable.
you too, Daddy.
It's
And I was
fucking
like,
adorable.
"Ah."
I can. It's ridiculously adorable.
Yeah, it is pretty great. Every time I want to cry, I'm like, oh, thank you, honey.
Hold on to that. Remember that when she's like 16, she's like, "Fuck you, Dad." You know, I'm going off with Spike and Railroad over here, and we're gonna go to a party and drink. And then she drives off on a motorcycle or hover bike, maybe at that point in history. Who knows?
Oh, there's the clip I was looking for.
And Squirt, put on your best face.
Like, even Wolverine's supposed to be like the understanding older character in this, and he's just like, put on your best face, you know, the fake one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
We're not.
Yeah, not the nicest. You know, he's like, well, sure. I don't believe this Wolverine is as short as the previous one was either.
No,
Do you
I
notice
was
that as well?
watching this whole episode, though, because I wanted to, like, you know.
Because he seems to
before I
stand
trailed
around the
off on
same height
something.
as everyone else.
He's shorter than the other adults, noticeably, I will say. And not even just the other adults. They make Scott and Jean pretty tall. They're like...
Yeah,
older
Scott's
kids,
supposed
I
to be
guess.
tall. That's kind of his thing.
Yeah, so they're all taller than Wolverine, but he's taller than, like, all the kids, which he really probably shouldn't be, but maybe he should. You know, he could be as tall as a child, Kitty Pryde and Nightcrawler, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But so it's not that bad. They make him small.
You know, those Canadians.
Yep, small. Well, why don't we get into it?
All right, let's do it.
Or do we want to play catch up or anything? Do we want to catch up, or do we want to just get right into it?
Well, you want to
I mean,
talk
yeah,
about something
let's- you know
specific, I'm guessing. And I think I know what that specific thing you want to discuss is, so let's do it.
We both did the same thing, sort of.
And Squirt,
What?
put on
Oh
your
no!
best face.
Don't do that to me, Sam.
Jesus.
Just don't do it to me today.
Well, let's catch up on old times.
Oh, I need a new catch-up theme. Oh,
What you think they doing up there?
what you think they're doing up there? Or maybe not. It's pretty great. Yeah. Well, I went to a book launch. I don't know about you. You going to any book launches lately?
I did on Saturday.
Ah, what a coinky dink.
I think you know that because you posted a picture of it on your social media page.
I did.
What are we doing here, Davin? What are we doing? We playing? What are we just playing? We're playing with emotions, playing with reality. We know the truth. You know the truth.
Yeah, we both went to a separate book launch of this book, Lenore's Anne, A Rogue's Tale, a memoir.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a great time. I had a great time at it. You know, she did a reading from the book. It was very funny.
Oh, did she? We didn't. It was just a signing at the one I went to. So,
Oh yeah, oh,
which
no.
is
Well,
fine.
it was kind of an intimate affair there. It was like there's only about 10 of us, I would say, at the
Yeah.
Halifax one. And I was sitting like a couple seats over from Walter Borden, which was pretty cool.
Walter
He was
Borden.
he's a playwright and actor, but he's also like he was in Lex.
Oh, which one was he in Lex?
Yeah, his Divine Shadow.
Oh, he was the Divine Shadow. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. I've been meaning to. I've actually had that whole show downloaded, and I'm planning on watching it again
it's
soon.
wild and weird, man. It is.
Yeah, I know.
wild and
He's
weird.
from New Glasgow, Mr. Borden, so that's fun.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know, Order of Nova Scotia and stuff.
That's right.
He did a quick little.
He's also 82 years old, so it's cool that he was
Yep.
out hanging out with you.
Man, he is looking spry for 82
Yeah.
years old. I gotta tell you.
Awesome.
Too bad. But so that was fun. She did the reading. We had a signing. I got her to sign it to my girls, and she's just like, "This is not a kid's book." I'm like, "I know. They're not gonna read it."
I haven't had a chance to read mine yet. I want to finish my. I'm doing Halloween reading for October, so I'll probably save it for November. But
Yeah.
Davin's like reading the book to his kids. It's like my first night of passion was.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like, his
Yeah,
throbbing
so-
member. I'm kidding. I don't think it's that
Oh,
kind of
my.
book. I don't think it's that kind of book. But
Oh,
I imagine no. It's, she's let us in on some of the stories.
no,
like some of
actually,
the-
I think it is that kind of book.
Oh, no! Don't be salacious.
No. But I look.
No, that's
forward to
awesome.
it.
No, it looks like a cool book. It was great seeing Lenore. She signed mine to a fellow thespian,
Oh,
which
that's
is nice. and thanked me for because I helped her with some audition stuff, just doing self tapes. So she needs someone to read with, so I've done that a little bit with her since she's also here in Truro. So yeah, it was really cool. It was nice seeing her, and yeah, it was a good lineup for the book. I got there right when it started, so there's a good line, and then there's a bunch more coming in when I left. So I think she probably did all right at the one here. I know they're running through the books pretty fast.
Oh, good. I thought I'd see more people at the Halifax one, but
Halifax
Things,
is
I
no
guess.
culture, not like Truro.
exactly.
It's Trurians,
Right.
Trurians.
I'm no Haligonian. What
That's
gonna
right.
tell
Well,
me?
It's true. Right, you're like a New Glasgow person, aren't you?
What?
Are
No,
you from New
I'm
Glasgow
from-
originally?
No, I'm from 3 Mile Plains. This is by Windsor.
What the fuck? Oh, shit. Okay. You're a Windsor boy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Way out in the Dust Bowl of Nova Scotia.
Basically, on the Avon River.
Ah, that's cool, man. For some
Uh,
reason, I thought you were from New Glasgow. I don't know why.
no.
All right, don't get too upset. I don't want to piss off your Glasgow or high New Glasgow fandom. I'm sure they're out
That's
there
all right.
listening in Pictou County. We hear you.
But yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Now I wanted to mention that we both got that in this weekend.
Yeah, it was
That
great.
fun.
That's really good.
And everyone go check out that book.
Yeah, it's out there now. Wherever you get your
Definitely
books.
lived a life, man. Definitely lived a life. Like, this is a full book and it only goes to 1997. She's just like, I had to cut it off.
Your voice is gone. All right, well, Devin is
I'm
fixing
back,
his audio-
baby.
Oh, I was going to say, well, Devin's fixing his audio problem. I'm going to sing MacArthur Park. And I'll never have that
it.
recipe again. Oh, no. All right, that's enough.
Now sing the entire score of the HMS Pinafore.
I only know the part that was on The Simpsons. Is that okay?
Yep. A British tar was a soaring so free
Filled
as
to
a
the brim with
mountain
girlish
bird.
glee. Filled to the brim, I'm sure. Everything is a source of fun. Ha 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 ha. Anyway.
Yeah, let's get into this.
All right, fine, let's do it. So, yeah, they meet Rogue. That's it. The end. It's a good episode.
Pretty good.
I think you should do that sometime. I'm sure there's some episode of X-Men canon that you could do that and would actually represent the way the show was. 100%. You think it's possible? You think there's one that's that bad or that threadbare that you can do it sum it up in a sentence?
I hope not.
There's got to be one or two out there in all of the X-Men cartoons you're probably going to be watching over the course of this show. Oh, man, I got to say...
That Cyclops cowboy one from TAS?
Oh, yeah.
Cyclops went to the desert?
Yeah,
What
I
was
mean,
that
yeah, I mean, there's other stuff going
What else
on.
are you gonna
to
say about
explain.
that
There's
one?
other mutants. So you got Tusk in there.
That's
The whole thing going on. Tusk was there. Yeah. So once again, I just like to commend this show on its how much, as the kids say, the soundtrack on the show slaps.
it does.
It definitely often shows like it's very reminiscent of the time period, the early 2000s. It's got that like new metal alternative kind of music sort of peppered out throughout the series.
The pop punk in there.
Yeah, a little pop punk in there. You see some teens partying. I believe we're in Mississippi somewhere. I don't believe did they say exactly where we are.
They do say exactly where.
They do a little later on, but let me look up where that is exactly. It is
Starts
Mississippi.
with a CH, I think.
Oh, it says Mississippi here.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
they get
I
more
meant the
specific
town.
about the town.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do. That's
Yeah,
fine.
They
You
do.
don't-
They do.
Who cares about the town? Nobody cares. It's Mississippi.
People who live there,
Not in the. It's probably a made up town.
if it's real, might be.
Yeah, I was gonna say the
I
people
don't know.
from Chattanooga, Mississippi.
Why bother making up a town though? Just use a town. I don't know. Whatever.
Well, like, why is Batman need to be in Gotham City, which is not a real city, or Superman in Metropolis,
It's a good question.
also not a real city, or Central City, or Coast City, or I mean, a lot
I
of
think
them.
all those weird DC cities are kind of superfluous myself, especially since
Ape-
they're all
Ape
supposed to be
City,
like
the
next
city-
to each other, but like also next to New York, and like
I
it
thought that
makes
was good.
geography stupid.
That's another thing that really pissed me off about Batman vs Superman is like Gotham's like across the water from Metropolis. They can like see it from Metropolis. They're like Gotham's over there. It's like how have Batman and Superman ever run into each other before now? They're literally the water. Like I can see it's like across the bay from my house. Like I can see the other side of it's like literally a couple miles away, and you're like in the other city. Yeah, well, it's funny because I think Dave and I talked about that one time way back in the day about how I know he brought it up about how like when they did the mashup, I think it was the Amalgam universe, that the DC universe is actually the DC planet Earth is actually bigger than the Marvel one because it has to accommodate all these extra places. So which is kind of interesting. It's an interesting thought. It would have to be, right? Because it still has New York and all those other cities. It's just which is weird because like why would there be a New York? You know what I mean? Like a lot of the things that Gotham fills in for are existing big cities, so it's weird that there's two of them instead.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, clunky
Anyway.
retconning and stuff.
I wonder what would we should. Well, we're into DC territory. I know it's a whole other ballgame, but I wonder what the equivalent would be if you were to like say, well, Gotham is the New York of, and maybe that is the right one, but of of the DC universe.
I guess so. Gotham. I think it
Now,
was
Metropolis would be interesting. That would be like Los Angeles. I don't know. Anyway, so we got a party. Kids are rocking out to some new metal, pop punk kind of stuff from the late early 2000s. We see football star Cody. Still Cody. It's always Cody that gets Emerald City. Emerald City's from Oz. Coast City was the Green Lantern city, but it was destroyed by Hank Henshaw. Star City's another one. That's the one that Green Arrow's out of.
Star City. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Is it in space?
Yeah. No, there's a lot of stars there. That could be. That's probably be LA maybe because it's Star City. Get it? So I love how Cody, like the poor star-crossed lover that never quite gets to have his day with Rogue. It seems to always be Cody. It's always a Cody. Cody Robinson.
And all throughout the multiverse, it sucks to be.
It's always a Cody. Yeah, Cody's always. The Cody is finally getting up the courage, being emboldened by his fellow football friend to go talk to her. He doesn't actually know her name yet, but he's been crushing on her for a while. She's keeping distant from the party. But against her better judgment, she decides to go dance with him after he asks her if she'd like to dance. It goes well, but his friend doesn't think he's making a move fast enough, so he pushes Cody on her. When he tries to help her up, he touches her bare arm and then goes into a catatonic state. Well, she suddenly gains his ability to be a football star, I guess. She's really good at linebacking, running around and doing that sort of stuff. She runs, and it's
Who am I?
her accent is definitely toned down a bit in this, which, is trying to...
It's there, though.
Yeah, it's there, but they definitely tone it down. They're definitely trying to differentiate it from the previous thing. Hey,
Yeah,
buddy, come
a
on,
lot of
come on.
that is. And, like, a lot of that, they're all trying to do that. Maybe they're not given that specific instruction, but they're all seemingly, to me, trying to differentiate from the TAS characters. And for some of them it works, and for some of them it doesn't work as well, I would say, so far. Some of them might just have to take some time to grow on me, because it's just so...
Well, it's like we've been in Bolton, being part of this whole world for so long that it's weird to see different versions of, especially me, considering I've never seen any of this stuff before. So like this series, like a lot of the original X-Men series was new-ish to me. I've seen some of it going along the way, but this new one is like completely new to me. Like I don't know anything about it. I've seen pictures and promotional materials, but I've never watched any of it. So it's all very new, which is fine, which is good. I mean, it's nice to inject some newness in the show and learn a whole new world and a whole new history.
I'll get that feeling sometime in season 2, I think.
Probably. I mean, obviously it's finding its footing, but a lot of people say it gets better as the show goes on. But it's fine. It's serviceable. There's some great animation. So anyway,
the mouthing is a bit off, I find.
only because there's one very specific point in this episode where it shows the mouthing, which I think I'm gonna reference later, which I thought was really funny. I had to go back and watch it again because I was like, what did he mouth? But anyway, we you may not remember it, but to me it stuck out.
Oh, I do. Cyclops.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
trying to figure out what he said. I don't know.
I think he repeated furry elf or furry whatever she called him. I think it was furry elf or something. And then
he's lip read.
Yeah, I know, it's hard to lip read animation. I know it really is, because there's a lot of you don't get all the facial expressions that help with that. So
especially with Cyclops, you don't even get his eyes to help.
That's true. So she
weird
goes.
Scene. I was just like, what?
I thought it was odd too, but also kind of funny. So I'm gonna chalk it up to a fun addition. So Rogue runs off, and the friend of Cody tries to stop her from getting away after Cody is obviously in a coma. She uses his ability, which she picked up, linebacking, to push him to basically just run him out of the way and run past him. I love how, like, I get that she gets powers and memories and all that stuff, but how does the strength of a linebacker, like, does she actually get the strength of a human being? I get when you get the powers, because the powers give you the strength, but she honestly is strong enough to knock this guy over, which she wouldn't be able to do if she didn't.
Could have been all technique.
Okay. I mean, she's like 80 pounds, so, you know, she's a very thin young woman, so we'll see. Anyway, it's funny. It's funny just to hammer home the point as she runs by the guys. Like, I thought only Cody could.
It is a good question, though. I'm
Good
not
hit.
sure. I don't think she does.
I thought he's
I
like,
think
I
the
thought
way
only
they've
Cody
just-
could hit that hard when she runs by or something like that. So
Yeah, the way
That's
they
just to show
described
him.
it in other things is that, like, she only steals she steals memories and drains you of your life force. But if you're a mutant, she takes your powers. Is how they always explain it.
yes,
So so that would suggest that. I don't
unless
think she got
Cody
strong.
unless Cody is in fact a mutant whose ability is being really good at football.
Or just has super strength.
Could be. Maybe
Wouldn't
yeah.
that be crazy if all this time Cody was a mutant too?
Cody could have went to the X-Men school and hung out. So then we see, as she runs away, we see a blind woman getting a flash of what's going on. And then she calls a mysterious person.
Remember
to
when
let them
Cody
know.
came back as an alien in TAS?
Yeah, I sure do. Boy, do I.
That was great.
Every time you say TAS, I think of Star Trek The Next Generation. I know it's TNG, but for some reason, just in my
Well,
head.
TOS is the original series. Star Trek TOS.
So we cut to a mysterious ninja going through training in the danger room with Storm, who we quickly discover is Wolverine. And they're testing the defenses of the school, to which Wolverine suggests they add a bunch of lethal additions, like gas that'll kill people and other
Impressive.
things.
You got past the automated defenses by using the air vents.
Yeah, so, you know,
I
it's
actually am enjoying Storm being kind of, I don't know, aged up, just appropriate age.
yeah.
Like, I like that her and Wolverine have this more adult relationship.
And I like Wolverine like being a ninja, so like kind of this little nod to his ninja-ness.
Mm.
So he's dressed up like a ninja, and he like got the full ninja garb. We know it's him when he starts pulling out the claws and stuff. But yes, the woman with the glasses is Destiny. It's not said outright in this episode, but you can tell.
Well, they
that's
call
who
her
she is.
Irene, and Destiny's Irene.
That is true.
I
So,
did
but they never
take
use the word
precautions.
Destiny.
The phony skin condition, the way she dressed.
You're getting ahead of me, but thank you. It's all good. You know, Shadowcat's coming to terms with you know, being freaked out by all this stuff going on. She's like, is it just me or is anybody else
Is
freaked
it
out by all
just
this?
me,
Yeah,
or
there
is
you go.
anyone else like seriously freaked by all this?
Nightcrawler tries to like make her feel better, but she kind of rebuffs him and leaves. And we can tell that he has a bit of
a bit jumpy about him in this, to be honest.
well, he is like I said, he looks like a demon. If you're not like at first,
She's met him. She knows him already.
that is true. But obviously, we got to build towards something. That's what narratives are
I
about.
know.
So.
It's just
He knows him, but she was unsure about him the first time. So this is just carrying over from the previous.
Yeah,
episode.
that's true. That's true. And he's got a bit of a shine. On. For
So
young
we
Kitty.
can tell that he has a bit of a crush on her, yes. And
As
you
does
know,
Avalanche. Everyone's after Kitty so far in this series.
and we see Jean tries to tell him that she just needs to some time to get used to him, basically. So Xavier gets a mental flash about the Rogue's powers being used. Who they refer to as a rogue mutant or rogue recruit, which is where I'm guessing her name comes from, because she's never referred to that except by that name in this episode.
No, they just keep calling her the Rogue.
Yes. So then they go off. They go off after her. We see Nightcrawler in his attempt to still try to appeal to Kitty. Teleport out of the Blackbird and then almost fall to his death, and teleport back inside, and then fall on top of her. Not helping his case very much.
It's kind of funny though.
Yes. Yeah. No, it was funny. I like that bit.
This
And then-
episode's pretty funny.
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's a solid episode. And actually, there's elements of what they do, which is interesting and unique to me that I haven't really seen in the show before, like or other cartoons, which I'll explain in a minute. But we do see who Irene was calling, who, to no surprise, is Mystique, Principal Darkholm.
Dark.
Who? What a name, eh? Like Principal
kills kids.
Yeah. I was gonna say like Principal's secretly evil or like evil, evil Meyer or something. Like it's just like a ridiculous Principal Evil Meyer, kid killer. Was it The Simpsons? Remember? And he's like, I'm gonna put you in the capable hands of Mr. Kid Killer, and he's like, Larry, please call me Larry Kid Killer. Yeah. So, and then, she says that she told her as a young girl that she had a skin condition and everything she could do to hide her abilities.
Mm-hmm.
But, obviously she's a teenager and she could only keep her hidden for so long. So Destiny,
at some point, Destiny had her. Like, she doesn't really remember Destiny, but at some point, Destiny was like her caregiver.
I think she was her caregiver the whole time, wasn't she? Because I guess because she was home making the phone call.
Yeah, and then
right, she wasn't in the same building.
Her in the alley later, and she's just like, "Don't you remember me? I'm Irene." And she's just like, "Oh, Irene." And like,
Irene. So anyway, the kid they run off to go.
That's Jolene, but
I know. So Rogue breaks back into her.
Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. How about that one? That one's
so
that's some good stuff.
That's good stuff. I like Lead Belly. So Marie, who is referred to as Rogue, I guess, in this episode, breaks back into Cody's house, finds the key, and is going through his books. And at the same time, Rogue takes.
She thinks it's her home, or at least that's why she went there at first.
This is part of her memories are all jumbled. And then we see Mystique take on the form. Cool. Yeah, well, I like this part because we see Mystique take on the form of Wolverine. So she's aware the X-Men are en route as well, and decides to kind of get the jump on them by attacking Rogue as Wolverine and various members of the X-Men, specifically Wolverine and Storm, the ones that she would be familiar with, not the new ones. So Rogue, of course, defends herself and tries to get away, runs into Irene in the alley, but doesn't really have much memory of her. She asks her to try to remember, but Rogue doesn't remember, but then kind of remembers. And she talks about how confused she is because her memories are all out there. But then the various X-Men try to connect with her, but then she kind of, she's obviously scared of Wolverine, so then...
Yes, mutant hunters.
Nightcrawler goes after her, and that's when Wolverine tells him to put his best face forward, so then he tries to reach out to her. But then Shadowcat kind of oversteps by trying to catch... She almost seems a little jealous of him, trying to be not flirty, but friendly with Rogue a little bit, so Shadowcat may have some kind of feelings towards Kurt already, which is interesting. But when he shows his true form, Shadowcat tackles her. They fall on top of Nightcrawler. Activates his thing. She sees his true form and gets freaked out as well, and ends up stealing his power.
Especially me.
I like that line, especially me.
And he's like, "They want me to hide my face," or something like that. I was afraid to put my best face, and look at Greg, So she ends up stealing his power by accident when that happens and teleports around. The X-Men do discover that, she has a fear of certain members of the team, ones that have attacked her. Mystique have attacked her as before, which are Storm and Wolverine. Jean reaches out.
We skipped over this, but these were a couple of great Nightcrawler lines.
Sorry, next time I'll honk before I port.
Yeah.
and I like this one too.
She's fully not into the fuzzy dude. Could I really blame her?
She's just fully not into the fuzzy dude. He keeps trying. He's just like, what am I doing wrong? I'm charming. I'm funny. Come on.
Yeah, I do like him in this.
Yeah, he's good.
So
he's the more Nightcrawler that I more enjoy, which is the kind of jovial one, which they gave us it again in '97 as well.
Yes. Yeah, agreed. So basically they Jean reaches out to her and gives her a communicator and tells her she doesn't want her to join. And as Avery says this earlier, we don't want her to join unless she wants to of her own volition. So they're only there to convince her not to try to bring her in or anything. But then during an altercation, because then Mystique's Jean Grey later attacks her, so she's confused about who's who and what's what. But during that battle, she ends up inadvertently taking Storm's powers, which obviously are too intense for her to handle. She does get a handle on Nightcrawler's powers earlier, managing to teleport around a little bit and make it work. But she, of course, escapes using Storm's powers, and the X-Men Wolverine can smell that Mystique was nearby because
Once you mentioned it to him.
even though, yes, yeah.
He didn't the
Yeah.
whole time.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
just like,
Someone's like, well,
there
she
must have been
seems scared of
somebody
us.
else here. And he-
Yeah, and he's like,
Mystique.
I wasn't going to say it until it was important for the story.
Yeah.
I was waiting for the right story beat. So then he manages to. So they know that Mystique was there. They're hoping that she will come around at some point. Then we see.
He's like, I'm hungry. Pizza.
Yeah.
There's a pizza place just down the street.
Just down the street.
Yeah.
So we see that Rogue is meeting with Principal Darkholm, who she doesn't remember anything that happened before, because whatever way they're using to wipe her memories, they've done so to wipe her memory of what just happened, basically. And then she, of course, answers to, after Rogue leaves, she answers to her mysterious benefactor. I love how it's like a Russian doll of mysterious benefactors. Like, Irene calls Mystique, who then calls Magneto.
Our organization's mysterious founder has certain resources.
That line killed me. That line is so
Me too, that's why I
ridiculous.
had to
It's
play
like,
it.
our organization's mysterious founder might have evil machinations at heart, but
It's like that could have been pulled out of every like 80s and
it's like that
70s.
episode of The Simpsons when they like call the Cayman Islands to find Krusty's bank account, and he's like, I certainly can't speak about our customer's secret illegal accounts. And he's like, oh crap, I shouldn't have said our customer. Oh crap, I really shouldn't have said secret. Oh crap, I really shouldn't have said illegal.
Yeah.
Oh well,
That's pretty
it's too
good.
hot, and he just like
Too hot.
pants himself up.
You are certain any residual memories of the true X-Men have faded.
Positive.
Positive. Oh, also during when she stole Nightcrawler's powers, Nightcrawler went comatose, and Shadowcat was worried that he had died, and was very happy when he recovered. And she says she calls him like a fuzzy elf, or she's so happy that that the fuzzy elf is back. And then that's when Cyclops Nightcrawler looks over at Cyclops, who looks at him and mouths a word, and I'm pretty sure he was mouthing fuzzy elf,
You see, like,
which is what she said. Yeah, he's like fuzzy elf, like he's trying to say, oh look, your tide is turning. She might be into you a little bit now.
yeah.
So that's
It was definitely encouragement or something.
I really dig, as the show is going on, I'm really digging the teenageness of them. Like it really is feeling like some beats from like a teenage comedy movie or TV show.
Buffy. It
Yeah,
feels like
Buffy. Yeah, a little bit like Buffy, a little bit like, the OC or one of those sort of shows. Not that I watch those, but like a little bit like that. We're getting that.
The Creek.
Sure, Dawson's Creek. I don't want to wait for our lives to be over. Yeah, end of episode. So Rogue doesn't remember anything, and Magneto is still Magneto.
I don't want to wait to be Xavier's child soldier.
Very nice. That even rhymes with the other thing. I want to go get killed in action now.
Oh no, here's apocalypse. No.
Man, I hope this Russian doll stuff just keeps going upward. Like Magneto's like after he's done talking to Mystique, he leaves.
He's
and then
not the mysterious.
he calls like Apocalypse, who's like, yes, our plans are going well, and then he calls like Onslaught, who's like, yes, and then he calls like then Onslaught calls like Galactus, and he's like, yes, our plans are going. Then Galactus calls like I don't know, the one above all or something, and he's like, yes, our plans are going well.
It all leads to the
His
one
skull
above
goes
all
right up
series.
to-
This series does get deep, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Hey, don't bite me. What are you doing?
Oh,
Hey.
now what are you doing there?
He's getting feisty.
You chill out there, Lebowski.
He looks to hide under my
Sorry.
desk, and then like if I move my foot, sometimes I can't tell he's under there. And then I touch him, he gets bitey. I call the big one bitey.
I called the big one. Ah, he bit me. All right. So, do we do? Yeah, ratings first. No, X points first. Yes, X points first. No, you know what? I think we used to always do ratings first.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
8.
All right, let's do ratings first. All right.
8. I like it.
8.
A lot of fun stuff here. I'm digging it.
Yeah. I'm going to meet you there. 8. 8 seems good. Best so far. Picking up a little steam. Good to see Rogue. Hanif says they use her power absorption way better in this series than TAS. I would say they probably have to, whereas she can't fly or punch really hard or anything. Like and she probably never will. I don't think.
Oh
Jenny
yeah, I
gets
guess
those
they
powers.
don't go into the Ms. Marvel stuff in the skin, which
No.
because they're trying to aping the movies a little more
It's the movies
in the
thing,
Ultimate
yeah.
Universe. Yeah, of course.
That's
That
why I
makes
try
sense.
to think of it as the ultimate thing, but yeah.
Hmm.
But that's fine. I mean, that's how she started in the comics too, just not for any really length of time in reading material. Okay, so
The music is very
Uncanny
muted. I
X.
think your background thing is on again.
oh no. But you heard all those things I was playing?
Yeah, but that one just sounded really garbled and far
Oh
away.
yeah, you're right. It was on. Well, at least all the other ones got through. So
Maybe it's
Uncanny-
music specifically. Maybe the words are okay, but the music is what that triggers.
I just wish that thing didn't come on. But
So
well,
you hear that,
that's
X fans? You got to make our show so popular that we get lots of money, and Davin can finally buy a proper system.
buy an actual soundboard and not a virtual one. But I don't even know if I want to.
Well, you could just put clips. Like I guess you can't edit them because you actually have it connected to the system.
Hey, we're Coast nominated. So
That's true. When do we find out if we win this or not?
I believe sometime in November.
November. Jesus. All right.
So there's still time to vote, everybody. Go to it's like thecoast.ca/vote, or no, it's vote.thecoast/.ca/ I don't know. Just go to thecoast.ca. You'll find it there somewhere. Or go to one of our socials. It's linked there somewhere. But
All right.
vote for us. Best podcast 2024. Yeah. All right. Well, I can go first. X points here. Body Snatcher. I thought that was a funny reference. Did you catch that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I thought that was just a funny way to kind of refer to Rogue's powers. He's just like, she must be a body snatcher. So,
But what one? The original 50s black and white one, the 70s Philip Kaufman one, the
it's up to you. I'm going to say the one with Donald Sutherland.
That's the 70s one.
Yeah, that
The
one.
remake, as it were.
Yeah,
Or
that
the
one.
The one in the 90s by the guy that did what's his name? Abel Ferrara. Called Body Snatchers, I think, or then the one with Natalie and with Daniel Craig and
There's too many. You know what?
Nicole
Take your-
Kidman. Nicole Kidman called The Invasion, which is from the 2000s sometime.
That one sounds
There's a lot of
bad.
versions of that movie. Yeah. That's I like that too. I thought that was pretty funny. We are getting into spooky season, so it's nice to have some references to some horror movies. I'm going to say the dialogue in this episode was particularly fun for me. A couple of things I pointed out that I thought were enjoyable were when Wolverine was doing his running around the danger room. He says, "Hey, I mean, when I give a demo, I give a demo." And Cyclops says, "A demo, as in demolish or demonstration," which I thought was funny.
That was cold.
Yeah.
Then let's warm you up.
This one.
What was the point?
The point, young Cyclops, was to teach you something about finding the weak points in sophisticated security systems.
Yeah. But then when Wolverine says that the vents are easily breached, gonna have to fix that. Maybe electrifiers or poison gas sprayers. And then Storm's like Wolverine. He's like, all right, knockout gas then. You know, like
Knockout
he just very
Not
very
giving up.
insulting. Like, all right, fine, you pussies. Knockout gas then. Yeah, I just thought it was really
No, go guess. We won't maim anybody today.
and I liked the little bit when Shadowcat thought that Nightcrawler or Kurt was hurt or possibly dead. She says, "Say something, Kurt. Please tease me, scare me, anything. Oh, please don't be dead. Come on." What will Wolverine do besides dice up half the landscape? Which I thought was funny. I found that too. So yeah, some great dialogue in
Please, Please,
this episode.
tease me, scare me, anything.
Yeah, it's really nice. All right, you're up.
Okay. I have the mysterious thing. Like, they keep trying to make Magneto out to be this mysterious benefactor, but they keep showing him. Everyone knows what Magneto looks like, so they're like, this mystery thing that they're doing isn't working at all because they keep showing.
Yeah, we all know who he is.
Levels deeper, that you're like the one above all and shit that you were talking about earlier. Unless it does that, this mystery thing's not working. Like, they don't need to keep his face in shadows, like, and just show the helmet. Like, it's just Magneto's there, cool. Like, let her talk.
Yeah,
to
we know
Magneto.
who he is. There's a particular goof in this episode I thought was interesting. So she's referred to as Anna in the episode, Anna Marie. But when she runs into Irene in the alley, Irene calls her Rogue, which is a name no one's called her yet.
Does she? Oh,
yeah,
that might have been a
I think that was a goof. It's listed as a goof in some of the stuff I saw. And they also try to quickly explain Irene's powers, like saying that Irene could predict that Rogue's powers would be what they are, but didn't know for sure until it happened. So she sees probabilities. Yeah, because she was trying to like explain that because she thought this where it was going, she was putting stuff in place to make her protective in that way. So they do a decent job of explaining everything and not just leaving you with like a lot of like just because logic. So anyway, you're up.
Well, I'll follow up on that then. And Destiny's powers also get less accurate the farther into the future her vision is. So like when she was like having this vision when Rogue was a child of Rogue becoming a mutant or whatever, like that's quite a ways in the future, so it's not going to be accurate anyway.
Wow. Well, my next point is this is the episode's directed by a friend of the show, friend of my show, Stephen E. Gordon.
He's
former guest
on the show.
on Graphic Histories podcast.
He's a friend of this show.
Former guest on the Graphic Histories podcast, Stephen E. Gordon directed this episode. So.
We'll be chatting with him soon on here. Don't worry. So maybe he'll be probably one of the first couple. I hope I'm not speaking out of turn there, Stephen. I'll send you a message soon.
He's fuming at home right now.
He's fuming.
Just like that fucker.
No, he liked our X-rated switchover. I saw him.
Oh, good. Yeah. Oh, awesome. Good. I like the rebranding just for this. I think it's fun to rebrand for each show we do.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'll keep the core original one for when we're back to the other show or doing other stuff that's unrelated to this. But we're doing the new show.
Wolverine and the X-Men. We'll call it Davin and the Andre.
Why am I the and the?
Because I'm on the left.
Good point.
You read left to right, it just makes sense.
I'm pretty sure you could change that.
Let me try. I don't like it.
Doesn't it just feel right? I just felt right. I just felt like I was home.
Let's try it again.
Oh, yeah. Whoa, yeah. Look at all this room. This room on the left.
Sound off in the comments, people. You guys have to be as distinct.
No, let's keep it consistent. Put me back.
Okay.
All right.
Well, is it back to me? Yeah, back for me for number 4.
Yeah.
Well, it's every episode so far. It's been, I guess we're still talking about Destiny in a way here. There's been the new hero intro and the new villain intro. And they didn't introduce a new student villain in this one, but they did introduce.
No, I think Rogue would possibly be a student at school too, right?
Yeah, but she's the hero. She's the new hero they introduced.
I don't know. The way I'm reading it seems as though she's going to be flip-floppy for a little while. Probably by the end of the season.
I think so, yeah.
And if I recall correctly, for the next episode, I believe I saw Blob in there, so we're getting more characters as we go.
Oh, yeah, we're getting Blob, for sure. And there's one more to the Brotherhood, too, to come. There's like 4 of them. There's like Toad, Avalanche, Blob, and there's one more regularly, I think.
My final point is this episode was originally titled Don't Touch This Girl, which might have been a production title, but I thought that was funny. But also, according to a note...
What was the point?
The point, young Cyclops, was to teach you something about finding the weak point.
Well, I'll fix
the other thing I wanted to say was, according to an online note that I read on the fandom wiki for this episode, Scott does indeed mouth Fuzzy Elf after Kitty says it to Kurt.
Oh, okay.
Fuzzy Elf?
Fuzzy Elf.
See, he's saying it's working out in his own.
Yep.
What do you think? That's too profane. I'm not going to get into that. We'll talk about it some other time when the mood strikes.
All right. Well, we get one more each, don't we?
No, that was my 5th one. That was my 5th one.
Was it?
You got one more.
Okay. Oh, but I went first.
I don't know how this happened.
Moving on.
I did 5.
All right. Let's move this on here. All right.
Hey, check it.
I mean, I kind of did it already. This is our comic reminiscences and recommendations segment. I'm not going to.
You told me this could be more just comics, though. You said it could be anything, right? Oh no, that's for the movie one.
That's your other thing.
Sorry.
This is hey, check it. I'm just going to recommend this. Go get the Lenore Zann memoir, A Rogue's Tale.
That's not a comic.
It's not a comic book. I know it's not a comic. But all this for a comic, go get Storm #1 again. I know I said that last week, but just do it. Go get Storm.
All right.
number
Well,
one
for my
and
suggestion,
read
I'm
it.
gonna,
It's amazing.
I'm going to suggest, and also a book since Davin's gone off course. I'm going to suggest the book The Troop by Nick Cutter. He's a Canadian writer. It's a horror book, takes place in PEI, but a group of Boy Scouts who are on a mission, and a mysterious, super skinny person who with a ravenous appetite shows up and infects one of their number with whatever he has, and then it's kind of it's a bit of Lord of the Flies meets some other thing, but it's a super good horror book that has all of the best elements. Stephen King put it over hard on the cover by Canadian author Nick Cutter. It's called The Troop, and it's fantastic. And for Halloween, you got to read a good scary book. That's one of the best scary books I've read in a very long time. So check it out, The Troop by Nick Cutter.
And we will be talking scary books. No, not next week, the week after. Yeah, in 2 weeks we'll be talking some X-Men scary books on this show. That'll be fun. With David Cutler be joining us for that one.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Interesting.
Chatting comics with somebody who can draw them real good.
Real good.
Real good. Give that man an X book. God. I can't believe we aren't making those types of decisions yet, Andre. It's kind of disappointing. All right. Well. Here at AV Club with Andre. What's going on at the AV Club tonight there, Andre?
Shit.
Let me look around my room. Let me
No, I actually
my
had
DVD catalog.
I actually had thought of something that I wanted to say for this, and then just flew right out of my head. I'm just gonna go look at the recent films I've reviewed on Letterboxd. I'm on Letterboxd as Uberdre, Uberdre.
Because he
yes.
drives Uber.
That's correct. No, it was long before Uber came around. I had that name. Yeah, so thinking about. I'm gonna suggest. I guess a few horror movies. Let's just do one. Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight from the early '90s.
Oh man, that messed me up when I was a little kid.
Jen and I watched that for the first time on Saturday, and
really?
I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a fantastic movie. If you really dig the old HBO Tales from the Crypt show, it's like that.
And nipple clamps.
Yes,
Electric nipple clamps.
Yeah,
If
hooked
you
up
like
to a
those,
car battery.
This is the movie for you.
That's what you took away from that movie? Was that very
when I was
minuscule?
like 7 when I saw this movie? Yeah, I saw this movie when it came out.
Did that awaken something in you?
I just remember it being, because I had seen other Tales from the Crypt
Like
stuff, and
like 95 is when the movie came out?
It's like a little... Okay, so I was like...
Movie's great. It's got a great 90s soundtrack. It starts with fucking William Sadler coming in listening to Hey Man, Nice Shot by Filter. Which is like,
it is a good movie, I agree with you, but it messed me up as a kid.
It's a great, fun action movie. Like we watched the remake of Salem's Lot before that, which was not very good. So it was nice to follow that up with something that was really fun.
Surprised you hadn't seen Demon Knight by it being such a...
No, I haven't watched Bordeaux of Blood yet either, so I know that one's not quite as good, they say. So
no, it's not.
But, I watched the Tales from the Dark Side movie, which is also really fun. So, there's that too. But J.D. Pinkett Smith's really good in it. William Sadler's really good in it. Billy Zane's really good in it. Billy Zane's actually really fun in it. He does a really good job.
Yeah.
And, character actor Dick Miller, who's in like everything Joe Dante does.
Dick
is great
Miller's
in
the
it.
best.
CCH Pounder. Everybody's good in it. It's got a great cast. Thomas Hayden Church plays the dickhead really well. He always does. And porn actress Chasey Lane is in it in a untitled a party babe as she's listed. So
there's some nudities in that movie.
Yes, there's a scene where a guy's like it's people being tempted by a demon to give their souls over to get something they want. With this guy, it was a bunch of naked women and alcohol. But Dick Miller's character, but Chasey Lane, of course, always reminds me of the song by the Bloodhound Gang called Chasey Lane.
Do they do it like they do on the Discovery Channel?
That is one of their songs, but not this one.
Fair enough.
Testing me.
History class with Old Man Davin.
Old Man Davin?
Yeah.
How old are we talking?
History class. Oh, pretty old. Couple hundred years at least.
Oh, ancient.
Ancient. So, I've been around. I've seen a few things. So, history. So, the history I thought I would talk about tonight. Because they call her Goth Rogue, and I wanted to look into that more, because to me she doesn't look goth, but that's what everyone calls her, Goth Rogue. So I wanted to look into goth more, the history of it, to see if there was anything I was missing. And goth is a subculture started in the 1980s in Britain, which was, very influenced by music. Things like, like The Cure, Birthday Party, Adam and the Ants, these types of bands. Bauhaus, some say, is like the first one. Peter Murphy, he did a song with Tom Waits once that was pretty weird. What was this? Christmas song. Christmas cheer is a pain in the nuts. How does that song go? So, Christmas sucks or something. I don't know what it's called. Something like that. It's a pretty funny song. But yeah. So it was mostly based around that, and then they got a lot of their styles from mythology, from like Christian mythology, Egyptian mythology, pagan mythology, and of course literature, like Gothic literatures and Gothic art, and and in Gothic literature, they very much have a lot of characters that are where is it? Oh, I had that written down. All right, skipping that point because I don't know where that went. So, but oh, here we go.
Okay,
in Gothic literature, they have a lot of ruinous castles, gloomy churchyards, claustrophobic monasteries, and lonely mountain roads. Sounds like the Xavier Institute, doesn't it?
You really did that was quite the backflip in order to get that to fit in. I like it.
Right?
Are they going to say where the word goth comes from?
That never came up in my research.
Well, it's a term for, There's a Germanic group of people called the Ostrogoths and the Visigoths.
Oh yeah, and the Visigoths.
Yeah, that the Romans were not fans of, and the term came to be because of the Romans. Goth came to be related to shadowy, dark, and undesirable, which is where it got passed on to
Makes
Gothic
sense.
literature, which definitely predates Goth, because like Frankenstein would be considered Gothic literature. Edgar Allan Poe would be Gothic literature. The Dracula would be Gothic literature.
Now, more real world here. There's been some studies that suggest people who identify with this goth subculture are more likely to much higher percentage to self-harm. Now, to me, maybe that's the connection to Rogue, because like when her power causes harm to her and other people, I don't know if that's what they're going with the goth thing. I mean, the only thing about the goth thing with her is they do sort of paint her face white, like she's wearing a lot of white makeup.
Yeah, I mean, I think the idea that she doesn't like goths always are kind of outsiders, right? And that's the way they're normally depicted in most fiction. They're usually, have their own subculture of fellow goths, but it's usually not a big one. Like South Park has like the goth kids. There's like 3 of them that always hang out together and smoke cigarettes and talk about dark and dreary things. But like, her character being someone that literally can't touch other people and is always going to be an outsider, I think it kind of applies. I think the connection isn't. It makes sense to make her like a goth type character.
I think so too.
Yeah, I know. I like her design. I think it's cool. Definitely makes her stand out from the previous one, which is probably important for the show.
And around her, I think the animation is particularly good because she's wearing like a see-through shirt, so they have to do
green.
like that sort of like if she moves, they have to do the shirt moving and her moving inside the shirt moving. So it's pretty cool. Right, where were we going to here? I have the new student. We have a new student.
I'd like you to meet someone.
The noises are interesting. No, like there's someone like crying or something in the background.
Yeah, I know. You go first before we forget.
Forget Me Not is my obscure mutant chosen for this particular category. He's been a member of the X-Men for over 6 years, but nobody remembers him because the nature of his ability is that you forget that he ever exists when you stop seeing him. So, you know, he the second you're not looking at him, you completely forget he ever existed. So they do. This is kind of a funny way in which they have shoehorned him into all these old X-Men adventures. It reminds me a lot of a really, really great episode of the new. I think it was season 10 of X-Files when they came back. They did an episode that dealt with the Mandela effect, which is this kind of, I guess, conspiracy theory idea that like people remember reality being a different way than it actually is. That like people say,
people use it as evidence that we live in the Matrix, or like.
Yes, or that there's a parallel universe, or there's parallel universes. So there are all these things like the Bernstein versus the Bernstein bears.
It's always been Berenstain.
It's called the Mandela effect. So a lot of people believe they remember hearing that Mandela had died in prison in the 80s, even though most of us know he did not. He went on to become the president of South Africa and get freed. But so there's all kinds of them. Everybody has one, I think, in your life that you remember something being one way and then are surprised to find out it's not. I swear that when I was a kid, the brand Swiffer was called Swifter with a T. But there's no evidence that I've ever seen. Well, see, and maybe in your reality it is not, but in mine, at one point,
wherever the hell you're from, you can Swift
in my parallel reality, I swifted in here. So that's why they call it the Mandela effect. They do a really great episode of X-Files where a guy shows up claiming to have always been the third member of the X-Files team, but nobody remembers him. And they even do the intro to the show again and include him in it. And they even show old episodes of the series and include him in scenes that he wasn't in before. And the one that particularly made me laugh hysterically was in the very first episode of the X-Files, Scully walks into the episode and Mulder's sitting at his desk reading like the News Weekly or something with the big I Want to Believe poster, and he turns and looks at her. Now, they're trying to make this guy, he's like a funny, quirky dude. He's played by a comedic actor, and he's really funny. You'd know him to see him. But when they re-show that scene, like this guy has his arm on the
Had to happen once.
This guy now has his arm on the filing cabinet, and when Scully walks in, and they do it so well with the effects to make it look like he's always been there. He just looks at her and he goes, she walks in and looks at him, and he just looks at her and he goes, "Move along, sugar tits. This is the X-Files." Like that. And it's just like it made me laugh so hard. It was so funny. Anyway, but it reminded me of Forget Me Not. Interesting character, obviously made for comedic purposes, but apparently he's had quite a run in the universe, being a member of X-Force and other teams as well.
But like, why keep him around if that's his power? Like, what's he gonna do on the mission? Just have people forget about him? Like, how's he gonna help you defeat Magneto?
Last, according to his appearance, he was killed during saving Krakoa from Nimrod. And then apparently he was resurrected by the Five inside of the White Hot Room under the orders of Ascani, being sent back to Earth to help Apocalypse fight Orchis forces. So that's his last. Yep. That's his last mention in comicdom.
Okay. Well, my pick is kind of like less obscure, but like the original obscure character, and that's Calvin Rankin, the Mimic. Because the reason I would call him an obscure character, well, the reason I picked him and call him an obscure character is for like a character like he was like the original 6th X-Men, you know? Like, so usually characters with that sort of a legacy show up a lot more than Calvin Rankin does. Like those, like Havoc and Polaris and all these characters that come from back then, you always see them time and time again, but not poor Calvin Rankin.
He was more of a prominent character in the X-Men, Ultimate X-Men comics, I think, wasn't he?
Well, he was on the Exiles for a while.
Right, that might be where.
And also the Defenders, because the Defenders always like to have an original X-Man. They had Beast, and then they had Iceman, and then Angel. And they're like, let's just have them all at once. Let's get Mimic. And so, yeah, Mimic, Calvin Rankin. There he is. Marvel Masterpieces.
Ah, beautiful.
Yep. Well, that might have been the Fleer set, actually.
That looks like the Fleer set to me.
Yeah, that's the Fleer Ultra set. But, yeah, Calvin Rankin. Check him out. He can fly, he can shoot beams, he can make you cold and hot. It's great. The original obscure character, I'm going to call him.
I think Forget Me Not's more obscure.
Yeah, you're right. Yours is more obscure, but it's not a contest.
That's true.
And even if it was, we just forgot about yours, so I win.
Yeah, good
How
point.
about that? Oh wait, now I have that turned off. No wonder we can't hear it now. Okay. I made that the sexy music because, you know, these are like teenagers. What are the teenagers thinking about for their extracurriculars, you know? So, here's a game. We're going to pretend you and I are each a multiverse version of Deadpool, Andre.
Okay.
And much like Deadpool in Deadpool and the Wolverine, we are going to get to assemble our own 4 characters each from the pre-MCU Marvel Universe to save the world with us, to save the universe with us. Okay. You get
Okay,
the
wait, what are we
assignment?
doing? Sorry? No, repeat that again.
So we're both Deadpool from
Yeah.
a multiverse, and we both get to pick 4 characters from the pre-MCU, like Deadpool did, to help us save the universe. Who from the pre-MCU Marvel movies do you choose to help you save the universe?
Okay. The pre-MCU Marvel movies, I get to pick
I'll start.
4?
I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
pick Michael Chiklis' Thing. He's the Thing, you know. He's tough. He's clobbering time. You need somebody for clobbering time. That's who I'm picking. He wasn't the worst Thing.
I feel like there's some big guy I'm missing. Doctor Strange from the 1970s TV. Or it wasn't a TV movie. I think it was an actual movie.
It was a movie, was just never released.
That's out there. Shout Factory
Oh
put it
no,
on Blu-ray.
I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it, but I don't think it was like ever released on anything, and just you could like find it on like pirated VHSs later.
It was a TV film based on. It came out in
Okay.
'78.
Okay, that's an interesting choice. He definitely sucked.
Yeah, but he has like magical powers.
Yeah, it's true.
They'd be useful.
Good choice. It's a good choice. It's a fine choice. I'm gonna choose David Hasselhoff, Nick Fury.
Okay, Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man.
Because Nick Fury, even if it is David, especially if it's David Hasselhoff, he'll have the info. He'll know what's going on. And if you're drowning, he can jump into the water and save you.
Okay.
All right, you get Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man. I'll take Affleck, Daredevil on my team.
Man, your team is like no, like very like street level heroes.
Yeah. Oh no.
Except for the Thing.
Yeah, I have the Thing, and I get Daredevil. He's got cool powers. You know,
All right.
It'll help, like, supplement the Thing's powers.
Okay.
I think.
My third choice will be the Silver Surfer.
Oh, that's a good choice.
Yeah, he's great in that movie. He's the best part of that
I need
movie.
a heavy hitter, don't I? I need a heavy hitter. Okay.
Doug Jones is Silver Surfer, voiced by Lawrence Fishburne.
True.
For some odd
2
reason.
for the price of 1.
Mhm.
Okay. Then I will choose. Look out. I choose Lulu.
No, she wasn't an MCU movie. He's adorable, though.
You can do it. All right. Ow. I know. She's purring and whining at the same time. So Lulu.
Very Lulu thing to do.
Okay, I need like a Silver Surfer. You know what? I'm gonna pick Doctor Doom. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not picking Doctor Doom because he won't help me. He'll betray me. I'm actually gonna pick. Like, we're really mining these Fantastic Four movies pretty hard, but
I mean, we
No.
picked 2.
here's who I'm picking. I'm picking Dolph Lundgren, Punisher. Yes, I have a street level team, but they'll get the job done.
Okay. I think my
Well,
team would wipe the
Lundgren-
floor with your team. No offense.
Well, Silver Surfer would by himself, but we're
Yeah.
not competing. We're trying to save the universe. And you know what? Maybe my team has more cohesion.
I mean, I picked people with abilities that could help save threats beyond the earthly realm, which is what all your guys are. Except the Thing. The lesser point, the Thing.
Punisher? He's got a lot of
The Thomas Jane
weapons.
Punisher was better. It's not even that great of a movie.
Yeah, but Dolph Lundgren's big. You know, in a fist fight, you want Dolph Lundgren, not Thomas Jane.
All right, my last pick will be Man Thing from the terrible Man Thing movie that came out in the early.
Oh,
2000s.
that's a great pick. Your team's so much better than that.
I know it is. I don't even need Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. I'm going to keep him because I love him. he can do the science stuff.
Somebody has to cry.
That's right.
I wish I'd have picked Man Thing. That was a great choice.
That movie
I forgot about
sucked,
that
but the Man Thing was in it, so.
It did suck. No. Rewind. All right, I'm redoing my last pick.
No, you already
I'm
picked
not picking the Punisher.
Dolph Lundgren's Punisher.
I'm not picking the Punisher. I needed a heavy hitter. I'm picking Howard the Duck.
Okay.
So
You're better off to pick
Daredevil, the Thing, Howard the Duck. Who's my other one?
Daredevil, the Thing, or the Duck, and Nick Fury.
Oh, Nick Fury. Oh, see, look at that. That's amazing team. Your team's not going to beat my team. Nick Fury.
Yeah,
and
it's never
Howard
to
the
be your
Duck.
team. What does Howard the Duck do besides be cool?
Well, you know, funny thing, he works kind of like the Man Thing. He becomes the nexus of the universes like Man Thing does.
Briefly. Man Thing still is.
He can solve crimes.
So gets Spider-Man.
What? Spider-Man's no detective.
He solved crimes.
By punching people.
I think you're better off picking the monster alien that they're trying to stop in Howard the Duck.
No.
He had power. He was a dude, the Dark Overlord of the universe.
Fine, I'll pick friggin' what was her name from Howard the Duck?
Leah Thompson?
Yeah, Leah Thompson.
Beverly?
I'll pick Leah Thompson. Yeah.
Sure, she's
I'll pick
great.
Beverly.
He's very cute in that movie.
Yeah, she is. She was great back in those days.
That's right. It's Marty McFly's mom.
Yeah.
Caroline in the City.
Caroline in that city. She is.
All right.
But which city? Probably New York, right?
All right. New York. To go Gotham.
All I need now is for you to contact your students, Professor.
What I have to. Go watch the next episode, Mutant Crush. Season 1, Episode 4 of X-Men Evolution.
Gonna crush you by sitting on 'em.
Mutant Crush is the name of the
Like
next
he says
episode.
in, TAS there.
Which is funny because when I look at my, they show the little, when you look up a movie. Oh, you're gone again. When they show the thumbnail for an episode, it's like Cyclops reading a book and then like another teenage boy looking over at him over his shoulder. So when it's called Mutant Crush and it has that as the image, it looks really funny. It looks like Cyclops is in a homosexual relationship.
Oh, I know who the last villain in the Brotherhood's gonna be. You're gonna love that.
Oh, I think, isn't it Pyro?
No, it's Quicksilver.
Oh, boo. Boo, he's a bad guy. Boo, I hate the show already. Then we're stopping it right here. Boo. No, it's all good. The man that saved single-handedly can run as fast as time, but also has a van for some reason, and then help stop the Phalanx invasion. No, sir, I will not accept it.
Well, sometimes you get tired and you need a van. That makes sense.
Nope.
You know, he would probably find it very slow.
Well.
You can support the show at patreon.com/X-Men Review Show. You can get your merch over at Redbubble. .com/people/X-Men Review Show /shop. You can vote for us over at the coast. I think you should.
Put away.
Yeah. Contact us at xmenreviewshow@gmail.com or hit us up on the Facebooks or whatever. And we're also on YouTube and Twitch. Find our audio-only version wherever you get those podcasts that you like to listen to. And please like, review, and subscribe. Give us some reviews. That'd be awesome. Thanks. Appreciate it, everybody. We love you. We love you all. And ufpodcast.com. You can check out our whole federation of friendly podcasts. Such as...
The Graphic Histories Podcast.
Was that the voice of God?
Could be. My God. Yeah, new episode just dropped with Mark Maya. Really fun talk. We get into some horror chats, kind of relevant to what's going on with the Halloween season. It's a really fun little book he's got out, and we chat about it. Few new episodes filming this week. Not sure which one's going to be the next episode. One tonight that was a miscommunication, so they didn't show up, but we'll get that one redone. But yeah, we'll get her sorted. We're gonna get there.
You and your miscommunications on right.
It was nothing to do
directly.
It was nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me. He misunderstood the time and showed up an hour late, and I couldn't do it then because I was doing this. So there you go.
Time zones are wonky sometimes for people.
He lives in Toronto.
Oh, well, that's not that confusing.
So,
alrighty. Well, anything else to say?
yeah, go watch a horror movie. It's Halloween season. Celebrate it.
Yeah. Get your costumes on. Go trick or treating. Doesn't matter how old you are. If you show up at my door and you're 65 and you want some candy, I'll give you some candy. Trick or treating should be for
That's
everybody.
right. 65-year-olds, get out to Devin's house.
Get out.
I'll post his address on social media.
Everybody.
Devin, you send me your address, by the way.
Yeah, I'll be able to get right on that.
Cool.
Show up for my poker game and we'll talk.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I gotta do that soon. I will.
All right. Well, let's get out of here then. Catch you X time, everybody.
Next time.
This ends now. Come on.